Hello, I'm Sharon Rosemaster Jin Yong Hong. I majored in electrical engineering at university and worked diligently at a large company for 28 years. In my mid-50s, while I was reflecting on my post-retirement life options, I got some information about Atomy business through a friend. First, I went to this seminar while working at my company. I tried some products, attended the seminars, and over the course of a year, I decided to do Atomy business. I convinced my wife, who was initially against it. Now, we are actively engaged in Atomy operations at home and abroad. Many people like me are worried about unexpected illnesses. We are also worried about the issues of an aging society and unemployment in rapidly changing social conditions. I'm sure that you have vague worries about your own old age. In the midst of all that, this unexpected COVID-19 pandemic has made things even more difficult. As the phrase new normal suggests, society has been divided into pre- and post-COVID-19. This situation is beyond our individual control. Among the many changes due to COVID-19, an untapped culture has taken hold, with non-face-to-face forms of education, film, distribution, work, concerts, and more. New terms have come out recently, such as home economy and home ludens culture. Not all these changes are positive. In the US, large department stores with over 100 years of history have either gone out of business or are on the verge of doing so. Shrinking consumer sentiment is seriously reducing the global economy. According to Moody's World Economic Outlook report released in May 2020, the economic growth rates in the world's most advanced G20 countries was negative 4%. Korea's economic growth rate is expected to be negative 0.5%. The problem doesn't stop here. Currently, the US government keeps demanding a negative interest rate from the Federal Reserve, which means that the global economy will worsen even faster. The Bank of Korea finally announced the 0% benchmark interest rate on May 28th for the first time in Korean history in order to overcome this serious economic situation. What does the 0% benchmark interest rate mean? It means that corporate investment and consumption have shrunk beyond what the government can handle through spending. In Korea, many experts have talked about various problems, such as low economic growth, an aging population, and the fourth industrial revolution, all of which have been exacerbated due to COVID-19. Korea's population is rapidly aging while birth rates are low. Thus, population decline is a serious concern. Also, the fourth industrial revolution is transforming the business ecosystem, reducing the number of jobs. What should we do to prepare for this situation? Birth rates are already at negative 11% compared to the same period last year. To put it another way, 1 million people were born in the same year as me. Of course, this meant more competition for university admissions. But the fact that less than 300,000 people are born means a smaller consumer market and that much fewer business opportunities. We can't help but worry about what the future holds for children born in this day and age. The problem of population decline in Korea is its rapid pace, which doesn't leave enough time for us to prepare. At the end of 2018, Korea had a total of 7.65 million seniors aged 65 and up. But the problem is that starting in 2020, out of Korea's first baby boomers, 7.14 million born in 1950 will be the first to be included in an elderly welfare budget. So, a total of about 13 million people from the first and second rounds will be covered. The huge fiscal spending that this requires could bring financial crisis to every household. This year alone, the additional welfare costs for those born in 1955 is about $6 billion, which is an additional burden for taxpayers to shoulder. This is an unavoidable potential financial crisis that all families must face in the future. According to the OECD's forecast of total welfare expenses, currently, every productive person in Korea supports 40 out of 100 people. In the next 45 years, This will increase to 117 out of every 100 people. This means each person has to support 1.2 people. This is the future generation's lot. Human life expectancy continues to increase, while many countries around the world are analyzing genes and predicting diseases that are expected to occur. We're constantly researching ways to prolong human life. This is the era of Homo 100, where living to 100 years is becoming common. The problem isn't longer life expectancy, but the lack of work from retirement until death, which also means no income. Korea's elderly poverty rate is 3 times the OECD average, and 1 in every 2 elderly people worry about their next meal. If you don't have any income, family to rely on, nor savings, what choices do the elderly have in the future? In Japan, a country known for having the oldest population, 2 books called Bankruptcy of Old Age and Bankruptcy of Family were domestic bestsellers on Amazon and broadcast as documentaries on NHK. They are about elderly Japanese who worked hard when they were young and saved up for their pensions. But they describe the process of elderly people driven to sudden bankruptcy or their families going bankrupt due to an unexpected illness. If we've worked hard all our lives only to find no security in old age, could there be something wrong with our way of making money? I seriously reflected on this point. What are the ways we choose to make money? There are 2 ways. The first is labor income, and the second is capital income. Most people choose labor income. After our parents' generation, we studied hard to get into good schools and find jobs at good companies. I chose this path. But the problem is that your time is converted into wages, which limits how much income you can earn. Capital income can be divided into investment or systematized income. Investment income is a structure in which money makes money. Systematized income is when a system makes profits even when you are not working. So let's take a closer look at the lives of labor income earners. As of 2015, the average annual salary of the top 30% of income earners was $37,750. After taxes, their net monthly income is about $2,800. So how many years will it take for someone who makes around $37K a year to buy an apartment in Central Seoul that sells for about $1 million? It'll take about 61.37 years. How much will apartment prices change after 60 years? Historically, inflation cannot surpass wage growth forever. Significant amounts of data show that the gap between labor and capital income began to widen rapidly in the late 20th century, especially after the 70s. This has led to growing wealth inequality and distribution. After the 2009 financial crisis, the top 1% of the world's wealth grew exponentially, while the other 99% shrunk. In 2015, there was a phenomenon where 1% of the population had far more wealth than the other 99%. Wealth all over the world is now driven by capital income. So which income source should we choose? Investment income takes time to earn, but it's possible for us to earn systematized income. From now, let's learn about systematized income. In the Amazon bestseller, The Millionaire Fastlane, author M.J. DeMarco mentions 5 seeds that can create systematized income. DeMarco left home at the age of 20 with $750 and became a millionaire in his 30s. Of the 5 seeds he talks about, I'd like to discuss the 4th, which is the distribution system. In particular, I'd like to share about how it relates to Atomy's business vision. So far, there have been 4 major stages in distribution. At first, people did direct trade through barter. Second was distribution in offline stores. Then, we have online and mobile distribution, which we all know. Now, in the 4th industrial revolution, we're in the age of platform distribution, which combines AI, big data, augmented reality, and virtual reality. The interesting thing is that everyone in their 20s and up worldwide have experienced almost all of these. But what does this mean? It means that distribution has changed at such a rapid pace, and it's meaningless to evaluate these changes based on past experience. With such a rapid change in distribution, humanity is becoming more used to direct supply chains from producers to consumers. Thus, the distribution structure of direct sales has expanded. Atomy also has this direct sales distribution structure. In Korea, 20,000 door-to-door sales companies and 138 MLMs, among others, have a combined sales total of $22.136 billion, which is comparable to the size of standard large distributors. In addition, 138 businesses have joined a cooperative union to compensate for damages to consumers. The sales of these 138 companies reached $5.22 billion as of 2018. We can see that sales continue to grow compared to $2.56 billion in 2008. The global direct sales market is worth about $232 billion, with Korea boasting the world's 3rd largest market after China and the US. In particular, last year, Atomy gave a presentation at a meeting of executives from the World Direct Sales Association about its growth. There are so many companies around the world, so what should our standards be? It's important to know the exact criteria. The first is the owner's worldview. President Park centered all company strategies around the idea of winning against other distribution companies with low-priced, top-quality products. As for social responsibility, Atomy has donated more than $20 million for those in need over the 10 years since its foundation in 2009. These efforts have been covered by leading economic magazines such as Fortune and Forbes, as well as in major daily newspapers in Korea. The second criteria is whether consumers voluntarily repurchase our products. Atomy's core management focuses most of its efforts on voluntary repurchases. The third is an easy, balanced, unchanging compensation plan. In the last 10 years, Atomy has never modified its compensation plan, which is rare for a binary model. The fourth is whether there's an education system that allows anyone to succeed. If it's a business where only capable leaders can succeed, it's meaningless to ordinary people. Now let's take some time to learn about this part. By looking at the top 5 best-selling products at Atomy, you can see where the voluntary repurchases are. Hemohim at number 1 earns more than $180 million a year in sales. It broke the industry's best sales records for 5 years in a row. Absolute Cell Active, the second best-selling Atomy product, ranks 3rd in sales in the cosmetics sector. Major Korean news outlets report that one is sold every 9 seconds. 3rd is Atomy Probiotics 10 Plus. 4th is Atomy Toothpaste Plus, and 5th are toothbrushes. Over 30 million Atomy toothbrushes are produced annually and sold worldwide. Health supplements and daily necessities are the mainstays. Products are based on whether they can be repurchased, and steady sales are being generated through daily necessity products. To facilitate repurchases, the most important thing is that our product quality is higher than that of other brands. Also, our prices must be affordable. Otherwise, consumers have no reason to choose Atomy's products. Using Atomy products must provide value. Yes, Atomy is practicing what was only possible in theory. Many consumers ask me how I know whether Atomy products are really good and affordable. I say this. Since its foundation in 2009, Atomy has had an average return rate of 0.12 to 0.19% over the past decade. It means that consumers are more aware of the fact that they can't buy better products than these at these prices. Atomy has set the principle of absolute quality, absolute price as a key strategy for providing affordable luxury goods to the public in the past decade. Absolute quality means that if another brand's product is priced the same, ours will be of unbeatable quality. And if another product has the same quality, our prices will be lower. In line with Atomy's core management strategy, more than 86% of our members have never received general commission. I can tell you that at Atomy, purchases are made for the purpose of consumption, and that it's the most important figure for us. As such, Atomy has been managing every aspect with a focus on consumers and has been running its marketing policies accordingly. As part of this effort, Atomy is certified as the industry's first consumer-centered managed company. The Consumer-Centered Management certification means that the Korea Consumer Agency has judged that all departments or management within the company operate from the consumer's perspective. It is a system certified by the Fair Trade Commission. If you go to the Fair Trade Commission website and search CCM, you'll see this. Please check for CCM certification before purchasing the product. Atomy is one of the only 182 companies in Korea that have received CCM certification. Doesn't that make you proud? Recognizing the value of Atomy, the number of members around the world has grown rapidly, reaching 6 million by the end of 2019. Atomy has seen dramatic growth in sales over the past decade, driven by such a rapid increase in membership around the world. As of 2019, sales in Korea reached $1.08 billion, and total global sales reached the incredible sum of $1.5 billion. This means that total global sales are 60 times larger than in 2009. Atomy received the 100 Million Export Tower Award from the government in December 2019 for this sales figure and also a presidential commendation. In addition, it ranked 11th globally among direct sales companies, raising 9 spots from 20th in 2019 within a single year. Isn't this growth phenomenal? This is how Atomy connects consumers around the world, starting in 2010 with its first entry into the US. Over the past decade, it has made inroads into 14 countries in 13 regions and is operating stably in each. In Korea, where the domestic market is currently in a slump, many of our Atomy members will have more opportunities to enter overseas markets. How can we start Atomy business? Many of you are curious about this part. Atomy changes the consumption patterns and habits of consumers through high satisfaction, which makes consumers switch stores to Atomy from their preferred brands or suppliers. Thus, they become loyal Atomy consumers, and then they introduce products they are satisfied with to other consumers. Not only do they consume the products, they can also receive PVs for the sales from consumers they introduced, which they get back as commission. Thus, Atomy doesn't end simply with product consumption. All consumers receive PVs through which they can receive commission and be connected with other consumers worldwide. Atomy business starts with consumers switching stores to Atomy due to satisfaction with its products. They become loyal Atomy consumers, feeling satisfied with Atomy products and recommending them to others. And it's not only their consumption, but also the consumption of those they introduced, which accumulates as PVs that they receive as commissions. You can accumulate PVs at higher rates than at discount stores. Voluntarily repurchases help turn expenses into commission. Atomy is a distribution platform that can connect consumers to the world. Consumers can become platform owners and earn systematized income. Now, let's learn about Atomy's simple and unchanging compensation plan. We've eliminated the widespread problem of mandatory entry and maintenance fees as preconditions for commission. Commission is paid based on sales from your left and right consumer groups. Sales from these groups are recognized up to infinite levels. Thus, if partners work hard to introduce Atomy to others, a more skilled or better leader can emerge. Then, everyone in the group succeeds together. Global One Marketing connects consumers wherever Atomy has entered with one ID. So even without overseas connections, your consumer group can expand to infinite levels worldwide. Also, a compensation ceiling limits a member's PV accumulation to 50 million per day. This ceiling means that instead of a successful few taking the lion's share of commissions, even beginners can rise in the ranks. At the ceiling, they can receive the same commission regardless of when they started. Isn't it truly just? There are 4 types of commission at Atomy. First is the general commission. Second is the multiple matching bonus. Third is the mastership bonus. And the fourth is the education commission. First off, general commission is settled on a daily and weekly basis. It is calculated from Wednesday and paid out the following Tuesday. Between your left and right leg sales, you get a score based on the smaller leg. The unit value of commission is applied to that score to calculate your commission. To prevent overload, the company flushes out excess PVs at each level. Even if PVs increase by 166 times, the score will only increase by 20 times. This advantages beginner contractors who are just starting out. The second in the multi-matching bonus. Accounts are settled twice a month, and commission is based on the sales and status of downline partners from the 1st to the 15th and 16th to end of the month. A contractor who maintains his or her mastership, including 4 general commissions a month, receives a total of 6 monthly general commissions. The first mastership is Sales Master, rewarded when the sales of the left and the right groups reach 2.5 million PVs each within 15 days. Sales Masters become Auto Sales Masters if this happens 12 times a year. Becoming an Auto Sales Master is the primary goals of Atomy contractors, because once they get there, they've almost reached the top mastership. That's why becoming an Auto Sales Master should be our first goal. Another feature is that out of 20% in total commissions paid out, 10% goes to Sales Master's first commissions. Usually the distribution ratio is lower the higher you rise, so it's giving beginners a leg up. Atomy has 7 masterships, including the first, Sales Master. Starting with the Diamond Master, you must have 2 mastership holders with the same mastership as you on each side. For example, in order to be the 4th mastership holder, a Star Master, you must have 2 people of the preceding mastership, Sharon Rose Master, on each side. In other words, your success is possible through your partner's success. This is a remarkable compensation plan where we can succeed through super synergy of united heart. If you look at the third, the mastership bonus, the company provides cash or an overseas trip as a bonus for moving up. From Sharon Rose Master, you receive cash and an overseas family trip. Once you reach the top as Imperial Master, you receive a total of $1.362 million in cash. Also, from Royal Master, you'll receive a sedan and a general commission activity fee. Finally, the Education Commission. The Education Commission is a rare allowance that pays 6% of a center's sales PVs for membership training. Lastly, Atomy's headquarters directly organize and provide all seminars on and offline. As of 2018, a total of 2,152 seminars were held in 14 countries, including Korea and 171 other regions. This means that an average of 6 seminars were held per day worldwide. So even without any skills, if you invite others to join you at the seminars, you can succeed through super synergy of united heart. Atomy has evolved constantly since its foundation in 2009. Back in 2009, Atomy may have seemed to be just a door-to-door sales or MLM company. But since then, Atomy has expanded its products and grown to 6 million members worldwide. Following the age of network marketing and the age of distribution hubs in 2017, 2020 will mark the platform age. It's the first year of operating a platform built to connect consumers and consumption worldwide through Global One Marketing. If you look at the book, Super Forecast, The Future of Wealth, world-renowned scholar Yuval Harari states that our biggest concern isn't disappearing jobs, but rather how to protect human dignity in the face of mass unemployment. This is a global concern. Also in Super Forecast, Scott Galloway, the famous author of The Four, strongly criticized platform companies for their lack of social responsibility. Galloway says that it's much better for society to break them up into smaller companies. In other words, the problem is that all the world's wealth is increasingly concentrated within big platform companies. What makes Atomy different is that it's a platform that has created connections that have never existed before. It connects global consumption capital and shares this capital as PVs that gets paid out as commissions. By giving 35% of total sales back to consumers, they are not just consumers, but platform owners and distributors. This is securing consumers' positions. In the future, society will force consumers to choose one of two options, whether to remain a simple consumer or to become an agent of distribution. Which will you choose? Allow me to summarize the Atomy platform business one last time. Since there are no fixed costs, there are also no losses. It's a scalable platform anywhere in the world that generates revenue through sharing and connectivity, not ownership, so there are no maintenance fees. All price-related information is open, so consumers can compare before they join. The global consumers you share with are connected as one. And even now, this connection is spreading out into the world. This is how we work together with Atomy to connect you with the capital of consumers around the world. Many scholars around the world say that new connections create new wealth. Would you like to compete? Or would you like to connect and coexist? It's time for you to make a wise choice. Thank you for listening to this lengthy company introduction. This has been Sharon Rosemaster, Jin Yong Hong.